Hello Genshin Impact players and welcome to my complete Lan Yan guide. Before we start with this video, just a small note. I was not aware that there was a multi-language feature in YouTube. So in this video I have added Hindi language as well. If you prefer Hindi, you can change the language by going in settings, then audio track and select Hindi. Lan Yan is a 4-star Anemo catalyst user that provides shield and can support the team in various ways using Viridescent and other supportive sets and with various support catalysts. This video covers everything you need to know about her, so without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Lan Yan's elemental skill is like Kaching or Alaitham skill. You can use it to dash forward or aim and dash at a particular direction. On hitting an enemy with the dash, Lan Yan flips and goes into midair. Using normal attack or skill again will throw a blade and deal damage to enemies. But that's not the important part. The most important part is the shield she generates after using the skill. The shield scales on Lan Yan's attack and is 250% more effective against Anemo damage. Due to her first sensation passive, if the dash comes in contact with Pyro, Hydro, Cryo or Electro, the shield will convert into that element and receive 250% absorption efficiency towards those elements. And the blade damage of her skill will deal some additional damage of the element absorbed. Lan Yan's shield absorption at C0 with 3 entails and without an attack main stat artifact is around 10,000, which is not that bad. And at C2 it jumps up by a huge margin and becomes very close to Layla's shield. This calculation is done with a build focused on increasing Lan Yan's damage and not her shield strength. So if you opt for a full attack build choosing to ignore her elemental burst and damage, the shield will be much stronger. Her elemental burst deals damage and pulls enemies. It has a 60 energy cost and 15 seconds cooldown. The crowd control is not that amazing, but the damage multipliers is quite high, which further gets enhanced by her 4th ascension passive. It increases the damage of her skill and burst by 309% and 774% of her elemental mastery respectively. This makes elemental mastery a bit more useful, but normally she prefers attack builds for damage. For her talent priority, level her elemental skill to maximize her shield strength, and the burst is optional if you wish to increase her damage. Moving on to her constellations. Lan Yan has some really good constellations that will unlock some great upgrades. The first constellation is nothing impressive. It is just some additional damage on undergoing shield's elemental conversion. The second constellation is a major upgrade. While her shield is active, 40% of the shield's damage absorption will be restored when the active character's normal attack deals damage. This effect can occur once every 2 seconds. On paper, Lan Yan's shield could possibly be indestructible if you can constantly restore it with normal attacks before it breaks. But it is practically unrealistic as the shield can break in the 2 seconds downtime or your character may not use much normal attacks. But if you can at least restore it twice, you can double the shield strength and make it as strong or even stronger than Layla's shield. Her C3 and C5 are talent levels for her skill and burst. Her C4 increases team's elemental mastery by 60 for 12 seconds after Lan Yan uses her burst. And her C6 gives her one more charge of her skill, which can lower her ER requirements and let you have a better uptime on her shield. Overall, C4 and C6 are some nice upgrades, and C2 is the best constellation for her, but she is pretty sufficient at C0. So don't risk your pity while trying to pull for her constellations. Before we move on with this video, let's discuss the ways you can play Lan Yan as. There are 3 main ways to use Lan Yan. The first one is as a pure support that shields and buffs the team. The second one is as a hybrid DPS where you use her for shield and also build some damage on her to benefit from high burst multipliers. And the last one is as an on-field driver. Since Lan Yan is an Anemo catalyst, she can use her normal attacks to swirl just like Sucrose, and you can use her in teams like electrocharge teams. For Lan Yan's general rotation as a shielder, start by applying the element you want for VV Shred, then switch to Lan Yan, use her skill and a normal attack or tap the skill again while she is in midair. Then using her burst is optional, depends on if you have built damage on her, and swap her out. Moving on to her weapons. Since Lan Yan can create shield, she can use Citlali's signature weapon Starcaller Swish to buff the team. Unlike 3 entails, this weapon is quite forgiving and doesn't have strict rotation. The elemental mastery is not completely wasted due to her ascension passive. The next best option will be 3 entails of Dragon Slayers as long as you are using her with attack scaling DPS. Its buff can outperform the Starcaller Swish on the cost of restricted rotation. Wandering Even Star is another good alternative. It provides a smaller buff, but the attack increase also applies to Lan Yan, so it will increase her shield strength, and the rotation is not restricted too. Forwardness is good for fixing energy issues. Hakushin Ring is good in electro-based teams. If you wish to maximize her shield strength, you can use any weapon that provides a lot of attack like Memory of Dust, Skyward Atlas, Wandering Even Star or Oathstone Eye. You can use offensive crit or attack weapons or weapons that provide energy for a hybrid DPS build. If you wish to use her as a driver like Sucrose, you should build full EM on her. So use weapons that provide EM like the upcoming Mizuki's signature weapon, Citlali's signature weapon, Star Caller Swatch, 1000 floating dreams, sacrificial fragments or wandering even star. Thrilling Tales can also work for buffing any character. Moving on to her artifact sets. As Lan Yan is an Anemo character, her best set will be Viridescent 1 Error to shred enemies' resistance. In most of the scenarios, this will be the best artifact set. However, in some cases where Viridescent is not useful, you can use the Noblesse Oblige set. Scroll of the Hero of Cinder City also works with an Anemo DPS. Usually there's Bennett or Faruzan that uses Noblesse Oblige, so you should be using the Scroll set on Lan Yan. She cannot provide the full buff as she is not an Natlan character, but she can provide 12% elemental damage bonus. Moving on to her artifact stats. For a strong shield, just go with full attack build. Even from substats, look for attack percent. Energy recharge is not needed as you will be skipping her burst. For Favonius weapon, you may want to look for some crit rate by using a crit rate circlet and building some from substats. For a hybrid build, go for energy recharge on attack percent sands, Anemo damage bonus on goblet, crit rate or damage on circlet. For her ER requirements, she will need around 200%, so first try to reach that amount, then look for crit stats and attack percent. For an on-field driver build, just build full EM. Before moving on to her team comps, let's compare her with the best two shielders we currently have, Zhongli and Layla. The benefit Lan Yan has over Zhongli is she can use the Viridescent 1 Error set and the variety of catalysts for buffing the team. However, Zhongli has a much stronger shield that lasts longer, his resistance trade also lasts longer. So overall, Zhongli is better, but Lan Yan can be situationally better in teams with short and fast rotations and if you don't need a strong shield. Unlike Zhongli, she can be used in freeze teams. As for Layla, it depends. If you have someone like Kazuha or Sucrose in the team who are better buffers, Layla will be a better option as long as her cryo application is not messing up any reaction. In teams where both a shielder and an Anemo character is needed, Lan Yan is an upgrade as she provides more buffs than Layla. How good is she as a buffer when compared to other Anemo units? First one we have is Kazuha. Lan Yan against Kazuha doesn't stand a chance. Kazuha has better buffs and grouping. The only thing she has over Kazuha is her shield, which is not much needed in this meta as long as you can dodge. Sucrose also provides more buffs than Lan Yan and is usually better, but in teams where the EM buff is not needed, Lan Yan will be a better option due to her defensive capabilities. If I have to compare her with Venti as well, Venti has better grouping capabilities and restores energy as well, but in single target situations, Lan Yan could be better with her shields. Moving on to her team comps. Lan Yan is an Anemo shielder capable of supporting the team with Thrilling Tales and Viridescent 1 Error while also bringing defensive utilities. So she is highly flexible and can fit into most of the teams as a flex unit as an alternative for Kazuha or Sucrose or for shielders like Zhongli or Layla. She combines both the roles in one character. You can use her in almost any team that needs a VV holder like Freeze, Vaporize, Melt or Mono Element teams. She can also be used in aggravate teams as a defensive support while also providing Viridescent trade. You can use her as a driver in electrocharge teams, for example in a team like Lan Yan, Beidou, Fischl and Xingqiu. She brings defensive utility to this team, however Sucrose will still provide more damage with her EM buffs. As I mentioned in the artifact section, she can use the scroll of the Hero of Cinder City and can be used in teams with Anemo DPS like Wanderer in place of Zhongli or Furina. With Xiao, Lan Yan is a much worse option than Xianyun but can be used if you didn't pull her. Overall, Lan Yan is a pretty decent F2P unit, especially if you don't have the 5-star options. I wouldn't recommend risking your pity trying to pull for her if you don't need the 5-star character, unless you have very less pity build. You can pick her from the Lantern Rite Festival event, but there are better options like Xingqiu or Xiangling. Even if you do have these characters, getting their constellations can potentially be better like Xingqiu's C2 or Xiangling's C4. But if you are a beginner and don't have any Anemo characters, you can pick Lan Yan instead of the constellation upgrades of these characters. Let me know in the comments what do you think about Lan Yan. And that's all for this video. I hope it was helpful. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Genshin Impact content. Thanks for watching.